Welcome back to New World Tank Mastery, where I, Ty James, your resident tank wheel power meathead. One day I'm going to get a better intro. I go over the different dungeons of New World, whether they're mutated or not, and show you guys how to tank. So today we are doing Barnacles and Blackpowder, which is actually where, believe it or not, if you saw my other video, I was confused about where I got my Void Dark Plate. This is where Void Dark Plate actually drops. So, first things first, you're going to come in here. You're going to pick up all this aggro from all these good old-fashioned dudes here. And you're going to burn them down. While my team's burning them down, I'm going to lower the game volume because it's quite loud. Then at some point, somebody has to talk to that gentleman behind us. And then you have to hit that lever to unlock the door. So once you get through here, I'm going to go ahead and grab all this aggro. I want to make sure that my healer does not put a heal bubble on me and that my DPS don't attack yet until I get everybody right here. Once I get everybody right here, we're going to keep them in a nice tight bubble so our DPS can just AoE everybody down. And then we need somebody who's ranged to go ahead and hit the lever on the other side of this gate. So one of our ranged guys went ahead and did that. So keep in mind, this is a pickup group. This is a unedited live recording of actually tanking this dungeon. So we're going to grab all these guys. We're going to bring them over here to Jet. Mr. Jet, the Oblivion Mr. guy. I'm going to keep out my sword and shield so we benefit from leadership. Take down this shaman here. Let's get this aggro. And then we need a ranged guy to hit that lever. Once it opens up, we got to shuck jive this axe so it doesn't decapitate us. It's not an insta-kill, but it's kind of annoying. So we're going to grab these porters here. They explode, so we don't really have to attack them. We just got to shuck and jive and dodge them. And we're going to grab that respawn point. Then, no heal bubble. We'll skip all these guys. So I'm going to pull all these mobs up the stairs. And I'm going to try to make sure that my team doesn't get any aggro. See how Mr. MyYC picked up some aggro? So I don't want any DPS attacking them, and I don't want the healer to put a heal on me, because I want them to be able to get up here, and then we're going to jump down. Once we jump down, we lose the aggro. We don't have to worry about dealing with all those mobs. And then we start this next area. So you're going to have these gators are going to spawn, and a couple little lost souls. So we want to go ahead and try to pick up all this aggro here. The gators are really annoying because they can knock your teammates down with their little chomps. They can also knock you down. So you want to make sure you get the aggro. Once you kill them, this big gator, Mr. Chompers, arrives. And then there's another mob that'll spawn once he's gone. So we're going to take down Chompers. Mr. Chomperiscu. And then these guys are all gone. So then this lost soul is going to descend. He's going to come out right here. There he is. We're going to go ahead and taunt him, Mr. Master at Arms. And at the same time, behind us, some losts are going to spawn. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this aggro here. Make sure my team's not being jacked up by them. And I'm going to bring the Master at Arms to them. So we can burn everybody down at once. Apparently I'm almost at Azoth cap. So once you defeat them, this gate's going to open and these mobs are going to spawn. So we're going to go ahead and get all this aggro. Let's pick up these porters. And then we're going to grab this soul and this gunner. And we're going to take them up these stairs. And we're going to grab all these handsome lost souls here. And I like to kind of bring him to this guy here so we can AoE everything down. But Mr. Fire Agent Jones, this little named mob, I lost aggro. See how his name is grayed out instead of red? But picked it back up. So once we defeat them, then we have to go back down these stairs. So let's get through this guy. We can actually skip these next sets of mobs. Let me get the aggro and we'll skip. So we're going to skip this tendril. I'm just going to get the aggro here. Or this guy's going to attack it, which is going to be harder for me to get the aggro. But we're going to skip it. And we're going to cut to the left to this next open area. Right there. And we're going to get all these lost souls here. We're going to pick up all this aggro. Once I know I have the aggro, then I'm going to start moving them to this next set of mobs. The shaman, the grenadier, and this other man-at-arms here. And I'm going to maintain the aggro. Try to clump them up into a nice little tight space. Like so. Looks like that shaman is still line of sight of me, so I'm going to let him just follow us. I'm going to pull these mobs all the way down here to this berserker. Now, I can take them to the other spot over here, depending on the difficulty level, right? And fight them in here if they're not line of sight, right? Otherwise, you just want to kind of fight them right there at the door. But this is a super low, I think this is an M1. So I can take them to this explosion area and get through a lot faster. So we're going to get through here. We're going to go through this little corridor onto this platform above the water. We're going to grab these guys. These guys. Grab our respawn point. And then we're going to take them all the way over here. I'm going to light them side them over here on these platforms. To right here. So I'm out of the line of sight of those initial mobs. So because of that, they're going to have to run over to where we were if our team didn't already burn them down. So I like to face this guy towards me with my back to this little corridor so that he's not facing anybody on my team. Right, you see how the grenadier is there? It brings him closer to everybody so we can just burn them down. So once these guys are down, that little bridge right there is going to fall. And we can pick up this mob, Mr. Officer Wells, which I like to face him to where his back is to my team. So one, they get the back damage, and two, his cleave ability like that doesn't hit my entire team. It's only solely hitting me. So first Officer Wells is down. This little shaman's still trying to zap everybody. So we have to explode this little bridge mechanism here to drop down, and then we can go attack the first boss, Mr. Admiral Blackpowder. Let's make sure our whole team gets in. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Is I'm a little teapot, short and stout, or is he coming? I think he's short and stout. AFK. There he is. Okay, now he's here. All right, so Mr. Admiral's going to jump down into the center right here. Has a few different mechanics. He likes to jump back up on top of those platforms and start shooting cannonballs down and things like that. He also does a mob ad spawn. The ads are like super easy to burn down. At a higher difficulty, obviously they might do more damage, but see how he jumps up there? So now we're going to pick up these ads, let our DPS burn them down. And then in order to get him to come back down, we have to shoot him with these cannons. So he's going to start having these cannon blasts drop down, easy to dodge, right? They do damage over time. And then eventually, boom, you see this little cannonball? You're going to grab the cannonball. You're going to walk it to the cannon. You're going to load the cannon, get in it, hit him with the cannon, get out. And rinse, repeat. Hit him 3 times, he drops back down, and then we can start damaging him again. So I'm going to grab the cannonball. I'm going to load. I'm going to get in my little turret here, and I'm going to hit him. And when he comes back down, looks like we got one of us missed that first one. So we're going to have to hit him again. So as long as you keep moving, you can avoid those little cannon blasts. Looks like he jumps over there, so we'll hit him. He's going to come down from that platform. We're going to pick him back up. I like to face him away from the team, like I said, so they get the back damage. And we just burn him down. He will jump back up there again. When he throws those barrels, they explode after a certain amount of time unless ranged DPS can burn them down. So he jumps back up. Same mechanic. We're going to pick up these ads, make sure nobody gets attacked. They burn down quickly. And then he's going to start sending these little cannonball waves, which you can dodge. And then opens up a cannonball. If that thing hits you, it'll knock the ball out of your hand. So you want to make sure you're not in that AoE. We're going to walk over here. We're going to load our cannon. Rinse, repeat, hit him with it. Wait for that thing to explode. Grab the cannonball. Looks like he's grabbing it for us. What a kind gentleman. He's a gentleman and a scholar. So wait for that to explode. Then we're going to grab the cannonball. It's not that they do that much damage. They do a damage over time fire. But it's more that it knocks the cannonball out of your hand, which is quite annoying. So he's going to jump back down. We can go ahead and re-taunt him. But generally speaking, as long as you had him the aggro before he went up on his platform, you'll still maintain the aggro. Looks like a porter is on me, so he might explode. So he's going to do it one more time. You can't burn him down before he jumps up for his 3rd phase. So right here, he's going to jump back up. We're going to try and get him, but he's going to be immune for damage and jump back up. So as fast as damage you are, unfortunately, you have to go through these 3 phases. The difference about this 3rd phase is now these cannons go in an L-shaped pattern, you see? So it's just harder to dodge because if you shuck, jive, and roll and you happen to go into the other L, it's going to smack you. But it's the same mechanic. The only difference is that it's coming from 2 different sides, right? So let's go ahead and hit them so we can get out and dodge. Grab the next cannonball. It's nice when the cannonballs spawn right next to the turret because you can just hop out, grab the cannonball, hit them again. So as long as you're dodging, oh, there he is. We hit him 3 times, so he's going to come back down, and this is just a quick burn. Bop, bop, bop. Goodbye, Mr. Admiral Blackpowder. Get your trash loot. Move on. Pick up this respawn point. Okay, so here, different people will do these next pulls really depending on, 1, the difficulty of the dungeon, but 2, their trust in the healers. I feel like this is a pretty good group, so I'm going to go ahead and pull all these guys over here. I'm going to pull them to the ledge. I'm going to jump over this cursed stuff. I'm going to keep holding this aggro. I don't want a heal bubble on me. I'm going to pull them all the way up to these guys here. So this is a pretty safe whether you're doing M2s, M3s, right? See how he jumped down? So he's going to aggro the main guy. I generally won't do that in a pickup group, especially in an M2 or M3, because that is a quick way for everybody to wipe. Right? If I use this rock here as a line of sight, it forces all those ghosts to come up to me. See? Right here. And allows for everybody to be tight together on one heal, so it's easier for our healer to maintain heals, and it's easier for me to maintain the aggro. Okay? Very simple. Then, once that's done, you can just jump down and come across. I find that is the easiest way to do that pull. whether it's M1, M2, or M3. It's the safest way in an M3 because you're not taking all the brunt of that damage all at once, right? Okay, so this is probably one of the most annoying mechanics of a dungeon coming up. It's so annoying that I don't even like. I let other people do it because it like annoys the hell out of me. But I will show you in a second. It's kind of like just a weird dungeon mechanic that I feel like is just lame. So it goes off percentage of health. So it doesn't matter if I have 25,000 health. It's percentage of max health. This damage tick over time. So when you grab this fountain right here, you have to avoid being damaged by this lightning, and then you have to put it on that statue. So usually one person at a time so that the healer can keep the heals up on them. But some people be like, oh, tank, you do it because you have the most health. It doesn't matter. It's percentage of max health. So technically it does more damage to somebody that has higher health. So unless they've changed it, that is the case. So regardless of who has it, it's more of who's good at little dodge, shuck, and jabbing around these lightning bolts versus who has the most max health. But what makes it difficult is if two people grab the curse at one time, right? He lost it. He got hit by the lightning, right? This is why it's annoying. It's just super frustrating. But if two people have the curse at one time, it's more difficult for the healer to keep both people alive with this damage tick over time. You see? So, oh, he missed his little heal. So he got hit by the lightning. Man, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a lightning. Yeah, if you get hit by the lightning bolt, you'll drop it. Or if you try to dodge roll, you'll drop it. So you just got a zigzag pattern. So our healer put a heal over time on himself. Looks like... Ooh, that was close. Looks like right when he got to drop it, the lightning hit him, so he lost it. And you got to do that 3 times. You got to be successful 3 times. That's what I'm saying. It's such an annoying dungeon mechanic. Probably one of the most annoying dungeon mechanics of all these expeditions. It honestly, like it sometimes I get so annoyed because like I'll be right at the statue, and I'm like half a tick away from doing it, and then the lightning will like come around and just barely nick me, and then I have to start all over, and I'm like, come on, AGS. All right, I'm gonna do it for him. Super annoying. Yeah, but if you get too far off the path, yeah, it hit me. But if you get too far off the path as well, it'll drop. So you see, I'm taking a lot more damage than that other guy because it's based off percentage of max health. And I say we vote Season 10 that Amazon removes this dungeon mechanic from Barnacles. So we need to make it over here before the lightning gets to us. Ah! It's so annoying. 3 hours later. And it's timed. So you only have... It's so like... That's why I usually have somebody else do it. It annoys me. So you only have a certain amount of time. And then 2, any damage from lightning, you lose it. Maybe because I'm a little teapot's a little teapot. He's little, so. There goes our gold rating. This this dungeon's taking long. Too far off the beaten path. It's gonna hit you. Oh, he made it. He made it. Savior. All right. So once that mechanic's done, you're gonna go through the doors. You're gonna pick up this Frostgeist here. You're going to take him over here. Pick up this tendril. I like to get a taunt just so that my team can get through. And use a mobility skill. Otherwise, he's just going to keep whacking you. I'm going to go ahead and get a taunt here. Once again, so that my team can get through. So we're able to skip these guys, but keeping up your taunts helps your team tremendously not have to keep getting whack-a-moled like that. Right? So I'm going to keep picking up the aggro. I'm going to go ahead and throw a little pot on me since my healer's not here yet. And you're going to bring them all the way to the next respawn point where there's the alligators will come with you. And see how the alligators are? Get through this respawn point. I'm going to go ahead and pull this aggro here. And we can go ahead and just burn them all down. So they stop whacking us. Mr. Frostgeist. And I'm trying not to skin this alligator. I'm just trying to grab my little trash loot here. So that we can go ahead and fight Nereid. Okay, so. Make sure everybody gets inside. Grab our little trash loot. Oh, it is trash for sure. So we're going to go ahead and get our taunt. I'm going to face her this way since my 2 DPS are over there. So she sends out waves of water. And then when she starts spinning, she does AoE damage around her. And then at some point when she goes into her next phase, when she starts spinning, she sends out like little water tornadoes everywhere. Right? Her spear on the ground does damage if you're near it. Right, so now she's going into her next phase. So she's going to send out a bunch of little tornadoes that flow around. Those do a ton of damage if you're caught in between them. And then see how the little tornadoes shoot out of her when she's in her spin? So she's still going to do damage when you're super up close, but then she also gets a little bit of range damage from it. But if you look, that one tornado is still kind of moving around the battlefield. You just want to kind of avoid placing her there. So if the tornado stays coming up on top of me, I'm going to move her a bit because I don't want to fight her and the tornado, like in the tornado at the same time. And you see how her spear over there does AoE lightning damage around it. So you want to not be fighting in that little circle either. So we got her to the next phase in which now she's going to have big tornadoes fly out. And she's going to start spinning a lot more often, unless we can burn her down quicker, with these AoE lightning bolts that come down, see? So boom, boom, a lot more spins, a lot more AoE damage coming out. And then the random lightning bolts are going to start hitting the ground. So they're telegraphed, so you are able to avoid them. But the main keys is to remember, do not fight in the tornado. See that tornado coming? Sold early, wants to move. He doesn't want to fight in that. You don't want to fight in where she throws her spear, which has an AoE lightning damage, which was right over there. And just avoid the telegraphed lightning bolts when they hit the ground. And that right there is it. That is Barnacles and Blackpowder. And right now, this week, it is Mutated, which means if you don't already have your Void Dark plate, and you want your Void Dark Plate, which is an artifact, do Barnacles and Blackpowder, and you can get your Void Dark Plate. So if you got any value out of this video today, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Stay up to date on all the tank videos that are coming out. And check out the series New World Tank Mastery, in which I do this, a live, unedited recording of tanking a dungeon, where you can see the good and the bad of being a tank and decide if that's something you want to do, or use that as a guide to help yourself tank dungeons and be a good teammate. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.